By the way, one important part of getting people to get started is you have to sell consumption. Okay, selling consumption is the concept that you have to sell people to use the product. So by the way, what was selling? We're selling all the time. But the good people who are selling, you don't even realize they're selling. So selling consumption means that after you sell them to get started, or you sell them to buy the product, then you have to sell them to actually consume the product. Okay? How many of you actually have, because you're motivated, you go to convention or to bookstores, you buy a book, and then you never sitting there on a shelf that you haven't read it yet? Right? You have conventions or CDs, DVDs, right? Yes, we all have it. Because, so if you never read the book, has the author ever made an impact on you? No. So a very important part is selling consumption. Okay? Selling consumption, getting them to actually take action to consume it. First part is selling it, then you have to sell them to use it. A good, that applies for everything. Right? Most people who buy home gym products, do they ever use it? They never use it, right? They maybe use a little bit, but you got to use it a little bit, right? But some people don't even use it at all. They may use it one time and stop using it. So if some of you have my sponsoring course, called Soul Sponsoring System, or my 5-star prospecting workshop, if you actually purchase them those products, I have a consumption sequence where once you buy it, I know most people, they're motivated, but they're not going to really listen to the whole product. It's my training course. If you're not going to go through the whole training course, will they ever know how good my training is? No, they won't, right? So I have a series of emails that actually, like even my time management, I have a series of emails, follow-up emails, that gives them tips that basically makes them feel good and makes sure that it goes through the product. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about, some of you, right? Do you guys know, so if you have any type of my products, time management, you get an email that actually talks about, it motivates you to use the product. Or I actually ask you, what did you learn? Well, how can you apply? Right? So it motivates them to actually consume it, take it out, actually download it and listen to it. It's the same thing in the business. If you actually sign up someone, and the reason why this is all related to Rich Dad Poor Dad is if you sign up a distributor, or a customer, you got to make sure they actually use the products. Call them. Don't call them like the week, a couple of days before the order is about to process. Okay, that's too late. Call them immediately when they're about to get the product. So so you have to sell them again why they must be taking it. They purchase it, but doesn't mean they'll take it. Most people, they don't take the product right away, customers. And if you wait to like the order time, they may not even open the box. They may just open a couple of them. They're not going to order again. So a good follow-up sequence is whenever the product arrives, call them, make sure they take the product. That alone would increase your sales. Same thing is when people get signed up, get them to start taking the products. One thing you should do a grand opening and go over each one of the products with them. You should go over each one of the products because people don't know, and we know like the names of the different products and supplements, but our distributors don't know. Right? I mean, talk about, for example, USANA products. The only one they could probably figure out is active calcium, because it says calcium on there. No one knows what Procosa is, Procosame. No one knows Proflavano's grapeseed extract. They have no idea. We know, but they don't know. So it's important that you get started, go over, it's kind of like a grand opening, go over each one of the products, what they do, and as you go over them, ask them, do you know any, for example, you're going for calcium, do you know anyone that takes calcium supplements right now? Ask them. Okay? And they may say, yes, I do know. So then you're painting images on their mind of who the potential customers are. Because unless they visualize who the customer is, they think they know anyone. Okay? It's like making a name list. That's what you use the memory jogger. That actually helps you come up with the names. Without a memory jogger, it's really hard to come up with 100 names. So you're telling them, do you know any friends that take fish oil? Oh, I know a couple of friends. Well, you can sell this to your friends. Those are your potential customers. You're guiding them. A good exercise is to think about this. Every one of you, have you ever seen a white elephant before? A big white elephant? What color are elephants? Gray. Have you ever seen a white elephant? Right? But right now in your mind, you'll probably think of a white elephant. You have a mental image of a white elephant in your mind. Right? So that's a good storytelling. You want to give details. So it paints the image. So when you're going through that, which of your friends takes calcium, which of your friends take fish oil, you go each of the product lines, you're actually painting images of potential customers. Now, here's another exercise. Everyone, take 10 seconds, close your eyes, close your eyes, and take 10 seconds, and can you name 5 things that are white in color? Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, open your eyes. How many actually had difficulty coming up with 5 things that are white? White, right? Color white, okay? Close your eyes, close your eyes. Now, think about your refrigerator, open your refrigerator. Think of 5 things that are white that you put inside your fridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Was it easier when I said open the refrigerator? Right? What's, no? I'm counting. I'm screwing up with counting. How many of you found it was easier with the white? Refrigerator, right?
Refrigerator.
Yeah, I just thought about white in general. Okay? Anyone thought about what, refrigerator? Maybe I counted 3 up. But in general, white in color in the refrigerator. Egg. Eggs, milk, cheese. Is he eggs, milk, cheese, ice cream? Yeah. Okay. Eggs, milk, soy, tofu, cheese, coconut, right? Much easier. So normally the whole exercise is if you give someone a limited, it's much easier to come up with ideas. That's why I use the memory jargon. Who's your high school? Name 2 high school friends. And if I tell you, name 2 people who you know. Name 10 people that you know that you haven't talked to in a long time. Can't think. Name 10 friends in high school that you knew that you used to hang out with that you don't talk to. Or instantly you can come up with 10 friends. Right? It's the same thing. Who do you know that want to be your customers? I can't think of it. Who do you know that actually uses calcium supplements? It's much easier. You got it. It's like using the memory jogger. Okay? So when you go open the packages, you're going over each of the product, what they do, and then you are basically painting pictures of what potential customers are. Okay, that's very important. Also, when they sign up, when they get started, get them to take the products out of the box and put them somewhere, put them on the kitchen counter. It's actually better for kitchen counters to remember to take them. Another reason why, you know why? You got them taken outside the box?
People see them.
Yeah, okay. Another very important reason too. They're out of the box so they don't return the package. Okay? They don't return the package. People are lazy. If it's in the box and they don't take because most people do, they take action. No, distributors don't. So it's sitting in the box, it's there, it's annoying them. It's very easy to tape it up and take it to the post and ship it back to USANA and get the refund. Okay? If you take it outside of the box, it's more work. The same people who are lazy to do anything, they're lazy to find a box to ship it back. Okay? If you ever get refunds, that will decrease your refund rate. We learned that. We used to sign, I signed up a lot of people. When I signed up a lot of people, we just sell I used to Eskimos. We just sponsor, but we got lots of returns. And realized that we can decrease the returns if we got people to take the products outside the box. So we actually spend 30 minutes on the phone. It's because we're building not just in LA. We're just on the phone, go over each one of the products, how they help them, get them go out there, tell them it's good for recycling, recycle the box, it's good for the environment, get them to throw the box away. Okay? That'll decrease returns. By the way, if you really believe the products, business helps people, then it's ethical, right? Integrity. We're not tricking. We're telling people to do. By the way, the whole thing is when your kids, do kids like to do homework? No, like your math homework. They don't like to do math homework. So teachers may have to bribe the kids, give them the prizes, right? Awards, ribbons to get them to do homework. It's kind of like the teachers manipulating the kids, try to get them to do homework, but it's all for a good cause, right? If the kids doesn't do homework, they're not going to do well in school. So same thing. We got to get everything to get them to do the business. Good question. Should we put products picture? No. Why? Well, okay. Okay, even if it was compliant, okay? Would you? Right, it's not exciting. It's boring. People think I have to peddle vitamins. I have to go to a it's not an attractive picture. Some that's boring. That's boring. So even if it's gold and above, you can do it. You don't do it. Also, on the product picture, it's a name.
You already told them what's
You told them there's no curiosity. I'll Google it. Right? It goes back to you don't talk about a company name because you can Google it. So you want to create curiosity. So a picture could be something that makes them stop and look. Like a good example, we did this one guy wanted to do a flyer, talks about for Gen Y, it's for really for university students. Have fun and earn part-time income so you can party during the weekends. Okay? Because kids like to party. But most university students, they don't have enough party. They just have money to buy cheap beer, and they don't have money to get into the expensive clubs. So it's big money part-time, have money to party. Because that's what university students like, Gen Y, right? So they had a picture of a club. Like a red picture of the inside of a club with whites, red lights, flashing, dancing. That's catchy. And the whole flyer was white, except for a picture of red neon lights. I really have to show you the pictures. The inside of a club, flashing lights, people dancing, it's called rave, right? Something that attracts. So if someone's walking by, will they stop and look at it? Second thing, so you need a headline, picture. Third thing is you need an offer. Some type of offer to get them to do something. Offer. Offer could be a free consultation, free sample, free ebook, free 10-minute coaching call. Okay, it's really like a prospecting call, but you call it a coaching call, consulting call. You are giving advice. Or free online video, wherever it is. Well, actually, free online video doesn't work anymore because everything's on YouTube now. It used to work 10 years ago. It doesn't work.
Free health assessment.
Free health assessment, right? The fourth thing is you need a guarantee. Like guarantee this will work. Or guarantee this is worth your time or we'll pay your petrol. So something like that. Okay, guarantee. All right, that's another, talk about Philippines, that's what we have to do. If we want to get the leaders, in the beginning you have to pay for the petrol. Okay, the petrol allowance. Number 4. Number 5 is you have a call to action, strong call to action. Meaning, call now for the first 10 people. First 10 people will be interviewed. Some type of scarcity, something to get them to call you. Okay, so 5 things. You need a strong headline, you need a picture, you need a offer, guarantee, call to action. So it could be for health, want more energy, want to sleep less to have more energy, right? Have a picture of a guy who's really in the gym, really strong, something like that, something attractive. Call now for a free consultation. Right? Guarantee to work with your money back. 30-day money back guarantee. You can say 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, you can return the product, get the money back. And offer only good for the first 7 people. Or call now before a certain date. You got a couple of things like every good offer has a deadline. You got to have a deadline. Okay, you got to have an offer. You got to have a guarantee. Here's a good thing. Have you ever met someone have you talked to a prospect? Okay, have you thought a prospect that's been in another company, right? And they're open to joining, again, open to another company. Most people, what will they say? If they failed in, say, another company, and now you want to present your company, what do most people say?
I didn't get the support.
Okay, but as a distributor trying to prospect the person, just like this example, Karen, I failed before, didn't work, but she's open, curious, right? She wants to do network marketing, but she didn't work. Maybe she joined 2 companies before. This is the 3rd one she's looking in. Do you know of any friends like that who have done 2 or 3 companies but still not successful, but still open, right? Most people who are prospecting that person, Karen, what would they say?
What do you do? What if this is different?
Yeah, this is different. These products are better. This company is better, right? It's all blah, blah, blah BS, right? Because you're lying. And that, again, that's like every distributor says that. To stand out is a question you can ask them that makes you stand out. I would ask Karen, you failed in MLM before so many times, then why do you still consider MLM? Okay? And then what's she going to say? Whatever she says, she's going to convince herself. Instead of me telling, Karen, don't worry, this time it's different. This time it's going to be great. This is very different. The products are much better. They're easy to sell. Again, that's just like, I say, Karen, you've done so many times. Why bother? Why do you want to consider it? Okay, so you challenge them. And then they would say, oh no, but don't worry about it. I'm still, you know what they normally say is because they realize that their jobs can't fulfill them. MLM can fulfill them. So they still haven't given up the dream yet. But that question opens up. Another good question is sometimes you ask people that, they may ask you, even especially new associates, well, why do you have to make our dreams and goals? Why do you have to write dreams and goals? Well, I ask them, does your boss ever told you to write dreams and goals? What do we say? No. Why do you think your boss never told you to write your dreams and goals down? Why?
Because I don't want you to achieve them.
No, that's really true.
To get their dreams.
That's not, but it's not really just a bigger reason though. Yeah?
Get it from what they're doing there.
Because your boss, if you say your boss doesn't really think you can achieve your dreams and goals, or your boss doesn't want you to leave, it's kind of like, you'll be defensive about it, right? Oh, my boss loves me, right? Right? Your boss loves you. So you say, your boss is probably a very, very good person. Because if you start criticizing the boss, they will be defensive. No, my boss is not like that. My boss really cares about me. He looks after me. He takes good care of me. Right? They give me good benefits. Right? So you say, well, your boss is probably a really good person, really cares about you, right? And the reason that he doesn't make your dreams and goals because he cares you about so much, and he understands that you can never achieve your dreams and goals at a company. He'd be lying to you. That's why he doesn't tell you to make your dreams and goals. He doesn't want to lie to you. But in this business, we tell you to write dreams and goals because you can achieve your dreams and goals in this business. Got that? Okay. So your boss doesn't tell you to write your dreams and goals because your boss is a good person. He's honest. He doesn't want to lie. He knows you'll never be able to achieve your dreams and goals in the company, so he doesn't want to lie to you, give you the wrong impression, misguide you. That's why he doesn't tell you to write your dreams and goals. But with us, we tell you to write dreams and goals because there's a possibility. Okay? Any other questions? Oh, convention. I got to tell you a convention story. I'm going to talk about Angry Birds. So convention, why it's important. Oh, there's another story that's worth sharing. Prospecting, and I just shared this last night, it's all about posture and confidence. Okay? When I first started, I remember one of my leaders is a Solid Emerald, John. By the way, John did not sponsor anyone for the first six one person, one BC, first 6 months. And products are too expensive, right? Remember, whatever up here, whatever objection, mental belief you have here, that's what the objection you get out. So all his prospects had no money. Because for Simon, I can't believe I saw 3 BC. People don't even have money to get 1 BC. They just don't have money. I said, they're too expensive. But John, they're not too expensive. So I got to start for a Pro Pack. They're not too expensive. People have the money. No, Simon, they're not. They're too expensive, very hard, blah, 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 blah. She got this one woman, Darlene. She wants to start for a Pro Pack, but no money. She lives in a trailer park. No money, okay? All these prospects want to sign. She just could not close people. And this business is a lot about your 4 beliefs. You know what are the 4 beliefs? Believe in yourself. Believe in the industry. Believe in the company. Believe in the products. It's all about those 4 beliefs. Okay? If you have a weakness, you can't close people. It's again one of those 4 beliefs. Believe in products, company, industry, yourself. So John only sponsored 1 person. I shared the story about doing the teleconferences. Did I share the story about teleconferences where people would know me?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so I did all the teleconferences. And people always say, hey, Simon, how's it going? John was there. What did you think of his belief in me? Increased, right? Increased in his team. He saw the company. He saw how the products were made, right? All of a sudden, I don't know what happened, right? Convention is so important. Immediately, after 2 weeks, this is the same thing. It was like the universe aligned. While he was at convention, this woman, Darlene, calls him up and says, this Darlene wanted to start for Pro Pack. And I remember her name. It was one of his first signups. We're on a professional package, and he lived in a trailer park, no money, lived in Kentucky. You hear folk music and that. No money, that's all, okay? Low income. Calls him and says, John, guess what? He says, yes, I love the business. I want to get started, and I can get started now. John's like shocked. Someone I should get started. She had no money. So one of my family members died. I have an inheritance. I can start with the professional package now. Right? And John was like, someone got inherited. She lives in a trailer park. Again, mental belief. She should maybe get started for 1BC and maybe use the money to invest and save it. But she wants to spend all the money, $1,400, and she probably only got a couple of $1,000 on the professional package. That was like one of the things that blew his mindset. Like people would come of the money, right? And he went to convention. Same thing. That phone call came at a convention. Right afterwards, within 2 weeks, he sounded like 4 or 5 people. He only got one person the first 6 months. After convention, 4 or 5 people. Because he saw me, my people recognizing me, the belief in me. He saw the company. It was legitimate. He saw all these thousands of people. It's a belief builder. Okay? So when you have weakness in belief, it comes across in your prospecting. But all of a sudden, he's more confident now. And he got the sign-ups. Actually, when we first went to convention, he and I shared a room. We didn't stay at Ramada. What is it? What's it in Ramada?
Yeah.
What hotel? Was it Ramada? What's the Ramada Inn? Right? The Radisson, not the Radisson. Right? We didn't stay at the Radisson. We stayed at the Motel 6, which is like the tiny, tiny cheap motel, right? For $40 a night, $45, like 1 kilometer away with a walk. And that place didn't even have, for whatever reason, they only have 1 iron, and we could never get the iron. So I didn't care. I just wore T-shirts, right? But John had to wear. I got to dress nice and wear a shirt. So he wore, but 1 iron. So what he ended up doing was he would just take a long, long shower, 30 minutes, and put the shirt by the shower, try to steam out the wrinkles. That was our first convention. Actually, we shared it with another guy, Anthony. Anthony was an Ivy League grad with a USC MBA. He just, hey, 3 people in a tiny Motel 6 room. Anthony actually was a customer, never did much, quit the business. And then John actually became my Emerald director now. Very good. But so convention is extremely important. I remember when I was working with John, how do you motivate your downlines? By action. If you sponsor, you bring new people in, you get motivated. Bring new people in. If you don't like your current downlines, you don't need to work with them. The good thing about this business, you can choose whoever you want to work with. And even if you don't do anything for your downlines, you should still be grateful because you brought them into the business. You should still get paid. So you don't like your downlines? Find new ones. So I remember we were going to, I picked up John at his office in Secaucus. We both work at the MBA. And we went there, and I was listening to audio. So all the time, this is before iPod, I would get to burn them on the CDs. Listen. And this is one of the biggest aha moments, how I really became good at sponsoring on the phone. Well, my mentor will record phone calls, talk to the person, say, if it wasn't, he basically closing questions. Do you have anything I can do to help you get started? Said, no. So look, can you get started right now? Let's help you get started right now. So I love the business, I just don't have the money. Right? I really love it. I'm very sincere to get started. I just don't have the money. Now, most people, especially new distributors, what will they say to that? Right? Give you a call in 2 months, right? Sorry, I don't have the money. How can you get the money? My mentor basically said, I appreciate you telling me you don't have the money. It may not be in front of your coffee table now. It may not be in your wallet right now. But I'm sure, you have the money in a bank account somewhere. You can put it on a credit card. And you're just telling me you don't have the money because you have some fears, some questions unanswered. So how can I help you get started? I was like, wow. He basically called a person a liar. Right? How many of you actually would have the guts to say something like that? Very, very rarely, right? So one thing he told me, whatever's on your mind, say it. If you feel the prospect is just not sincere in the meeting, just say, it seems like you're not interested. Do you still want me to go on, or we can just hang out as friends? They'll appreciate that more than you try to convince them. He said that so confidently, and the prospect signed up. He called out the prospect, signed up. I was like, I can't believe it. That's like magic. Like, we could never be like that. We could never speak like that. He spoke like that because he was making 6 figures already. And we were making like $100 a week. And I was like, that was the big aha moment. He didn't brag about his income. It's like, if I could speak as confidently like the way he's talked to that person, I would get the signups. We actually played back that CD over and over again. And I actually transcribed it. And I start practicing. In front of a mirror, practice speaking like that. And once I started doing that, we started getting enrollments. Okay? Because it's all up here. You have to see yourself becoming successful. I would just imagine, think about it. If you were a diamond director, would you talk to your prospects differently? Yes. Right? So Jen, if you were a diamond director, you talk differently. Start talking to a person out there, the next prospect, like you're a diamond. You made it. Your voice, your confidence, your posture, the way you talk to people, your patience level, people like, well, I have no time, but all these excuses, be totally different. And when you talk, if you talk like the way I prospect, you automatically get better people. You also lose the people who are not interested. You actually will save your time. It's actually, you're doing them a favor too. Your prospects who are not interested, they don't want to hear your presentation, right? So that was the big thing. I mean, I shared this with one of my mastermind members. She instantly did that during Christmas break and got 2 customers. She said, oh, Simon, I just imagined, I was talking like you. I used to do that. I was just imagining I was talking about my mentor without the confidence and posture. Okay?
I mean, I can't imagine how I can be talking like you.
Of course. Of course, because you don't have an accent like me.
It's like,
It's the posture. It's a posture. Like, it's a posture like, you need me, you need these products, you need this business, but I don't need you. But we can still be friends, but, I can't be spending too much time with because I have other people I need to share with.
so
Yeah, Deborah.
suggest that we can say to people about the credit card thing?
Sure, if you say, test it out.
Can you?
Everyone has the money though, by the way. We just went over it this morning, right? If you don't spend the money to join, they'll spend the money on something else. Especially young kids, right? Right? Young people, they'll spend the money.
Can you repeat again what you said to them? Because you said those 3 sentences really fast.
Oh, okay. So he said that, I appreciate that you tell me you don't have the money. The money may not be in front of you, may not be in your wallet right now, may not be on the table, but I'm sure you have the money. The reason,
That's what you said to them.
yeah, that's what he said to them, right? I'm sure you have the money. The reason you're saying you don't have the money is because you have some questions or fears, concerns. How can I help you answer those fears so we get you started? 27% is your downline, right? 27% of your downline. Whingers. That's how you spell whingers? Whiners. They complain, right? They're losers. They complain. Why is the product on backwater? Why is the Australian version different from the US version? How come they have products in the US and not in Australia? Why is the website slow? Why is the office closed on Sundays? No, my Nutrimilk shake, the bag broke, leaking, or the packaging is not good, or the supplement cracked in half. There's all type of excuses. Okay. 65% are followers. Followers meaning they do a little bit. They may get a couple customers, they may get a couple enrollments, but they really don't do that much. Okay. They're valuable. They're a big part of your organization, 65%. 5%, just like your supporters. Supporters are like, by the way, these people, okay, that's what, 92%. 5% of your supporters are like your right-hand person, right-hand woman, right-hand man. They'll help you out. You need a training, they'll help you. You need a setup, they'll help you. They do trainings, they may even do better than you. They're very good. And then 3% are leaders. Right? So it's a huge lesson here. Which ones take up your most time, suck up your time and energy? Whingers, right? Complain. Do they ever, what happens to whingers? Do they stay in the business? They quit. So we talked about the lesson yesterday, we talked about Helen, the thing that maybe stuck as a silver director for 2 years. It's very frustrating, right? I wanted why am I doing this business? So frustrating. I was sponsoring people, they were quitting. I wasn't duplicating, I wasn't teaching. Because I was spending time with people like this. They need your time. But no matter what you do, they always end up quitting. So there's no point to spend time with them. Which are the ones you need to spend time with? Leaders, right? Now, these people, most of you here, some of you are leaders, but you started off probably here. If your upline told you to do something, you would do it. You don't complain it's too early in the morning, right? So, oh, can you do a training? Oh, I can't. These are the whingers, right? These people are scared to do training. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I'm scared. I can do it. These people would do it. But the only difference between this and this, is these leaders, they take action. Supporters, they need someone to tell them to do. So, like I used to do a weekly teleconference. My mentor told me to do it, and I'll do it. But if he didn't tell me to do it, I never saw the need to do it. Right? My mentor didn't tell me to do my own team calls, I never do it. He did tell me. You can't be spending time with here. You're spending time with people that deserve your time, not need your time. Everyone needs your time. But if you spend time with people that need your time, you go crazy and you hate the business. Because there's too many of those whingers and there's negative energy. These people, no matter what you do, you're never going to save them. They're all going to quit. You have to spend time with these. I'll share a mistake with you, Helen, because one time I got a woman that sponsored like 30 PCs in the first month. Okay? 30 PCs. He actually came from another team, but the team didn't give him support, wanted to be with me. He had canceled out. He was actually in ministry. She actually wasn't active in the business, but she was like a very godly woman. She was the type that does 40-day fast, and she actually relied on the supplements. She has a very good story. So whoever she talks to, people believe her. Right? She's a church founder. So she came to my business, she signed up 30 PCs. She keeps on faxing order forms. It was great, I'm putting them in. She's good, right? Like a month and a half later, she quits. Why? Because she said I didn't give enough support for her. I didn't even help her out. But she was a leader. She said I don't need to help her. Because all my time was spent on the people like, oh, Simon, I can't go to training. I'm trying to convince them to do it. Oh, don't be shy. Go do the business. Go, you can do it. I was trying to convince those people that didn't want to do the business. What's the most precious thing we have? Time. We have limited time. I was spending time with these people that I didn't even realize that she was frustrated. She needed my help. I'll call these people every day. Come on, go to training. Go, go. She actually just needed one quick phone call to see how she's doing. I'll call her maybe once a week. These people, I try to call them every day to motivate them. Simon wasn't supporting. And then these people, I try to put a downline under her to motivate her so they don't quit. Right? I have you have points, 500 points, don't quit. She should have gone to the people. Simon, you didn't actually, one of her complaints to Simon, I know, I go to a team call, I see you putting people on the downlines, I bought them 30 PCs, you haven't given me anyone. So these people, she quits. That was a huge setback. Not only that, guess what happens? They all quit. Right? And they also, the new distributor I put in there, they drag them down. Because they have negative energy and influence them. It's like bad, it's like a disease, it just spreads. So the lesson is, that's the painful lesson is, don't worry, I've actually lost 2 good people like this, because I was working with. I was like dumb. I didn't learn my lesson the first time. So you're trying to convince people, revive people, get them. The key to business is sponsoring and finding these types. These, they go to the weekly trainings. Okay, these, the earlier they quit, the better, actually. It's a time cost. The earlier they quit, the better. So now I don't have any patience for that. They just quit. Okay, please, I don't want you to care about your order. Just be a customer. Don't call me again. Okay? Because it's just sucking up your time. By the way, if you have strong posture like that, you don't. If these, just think about this. This person sees me working with these people. Does that edify me or that makes me look bad? It makes me look bad as a leader. Why is Simon so dumb? These people are smart. Why is Simon so dumb working with these people? It makes you look bad. Cut your losses. Get rid of these. Do a team trainings. Work with these. The key is to support her and work with them. Now, in terms of going to Singapore and going to Julie, you're probably thinking you're here. Well, leaders, when they take action, they don't need the upline. They're going to do it themselves. My upline didn't know how to grow in Malaysia. I want to go to the Malaysia market. I don't know how. I want to go to Asia. Actually,
You just say, go and do yourself.
go do yourself. That's the leader. That's what a leader is. Okay? That's the leader. Okay? I'll tell you, I never knew how to do anything, but I share my story. My first presentation was done in I share the story. The first presentation I did was done in the bed, right? Like, 7 people sit in my bed, 7 or 8 people sit in my bed, and then a couple of people in the Bukit Bintang in KL. I didn't know how to do meetings. I never done a Health and Freedom. I just did on the phone, teleconferences. That's how I had a weird team. That's how we grew the business. So when I first went to Hong Kong, I went there, and this is a story. I went to China. This is during I actually went to a convention. Before I went there, I said, I want to go to Asia business. I decided to take a 3-week vacation to go out in Asia. And before I went there, I was really nervous. And my leader, downline, was like, hey, I can't believe you're going. I was like, I can't believe I'm going for 3 weeks. I'm kind of nervous. And it's like, it's huge risk. I say, it's a huge risk. But I know that if I stay at home, next year, if I would go there, I may have a chance to be successful, go to business in Asia. If I stay at home, all I know is next year I'll go to convention, I'll be angry at myself. I'll be like, oh, what could have been? So I went. So I went to China, they had some Olympic NBA, I started to work some NBA stuff there. Then I went to Hong Kong. I went to Hong Kong, I went to, I don't know how to do meetings, it just was in the company office, just sit there. I went through all the product trainings, watched them do meetings. Oh, that's how you learn. I'll start learning, taking notes. Okay. Then I went, by the way, it was a good lesson I learned in Hong Kong was this lady went there, started talking to me, older lady, said, oh, you're so, how's it going? Where are you from? I said, I'm from the US. He calls me, what level are you? I said, I'm a silver. And how many months? Like 6 months. Whoa, so I go, oh, wow. You're so, sweet talking to me, like a handsome guy, what's so good, blah, blah. How do you make it? So I'm struggling and stuff. So how do you do it? Can you share with me? And I'll start giving her some prospecting tips. And she's like, well, how about this? I'll buy you your drink or something like that, a snack. Can you share with me for 15 minutes? I really need help. I'm struggling. I have no upline support. Of course, I'm like the giver, right? So I said, okay, sure. So this is in Hong Kong, in World Trade Center. We went down in Causeway Bay. There's a McDonald's there. Got a drink. And then we sit down there. She buys me orange juice and stuff like that. And then we start talking. He says, well, you know what? Like, yeah, the company you saw is really good. And I like the products. And she takes it out and takes out a flip chart. But there's a better company out there. Like, blah, 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 blah. Let's go cure cancer. That was my first lesson, how business works in Asia. Anyway, I went to Hong Kong. I went to all the meetings. I started learning how the meetings go. My upline didn't support me, didn't teach me. I just went. That was the day I became a leader. Before then, I needed my upline to help me. It was scary. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just went. I went to Taiwan. Little did I know, in Hong Kong, I had some ice. It was, I don't know, I got food poisoning, whatever it was. I went to Taiwan really sick. Okay, where I could not walk more than like 50 meters without sitting down. Like it felt like someone was stabbing a knife in my stomach. It was really bad. I think maybe drinking milk feel better? No, bad. Eating bread? No good. Anything I eat was bad. Huh? Anything was bad. It was no good, okay? I was thinking, so I called my dad, he's a doctor. He said, well, you seem like you have food poisoning. There's a virus bug in your stomach. So it's eating up like your intestines, basically, eating up your lining of your stomach. So the only way to do it is you don't eat, you starve it. Okay, that's the way you kill it. So I actually didn't. I lost like 3 kilos. No, actually no, 5 kilos in like 2 days. Not eating. I couldn't even drink water. Drink water or hurt. I'll be like, it was so bad. Walking in Taipei, I'll sit there like this. You know when you like that? You're walking. It's so bad. And now my friend actually had an apartment there. It's actually in a very prominent area. But he comes from a wealthy family, but his apartment's not used. But it's a great location, but when you go in there, no one uses it. Cobwebs everywhere, but it was a really convenient location. So I was just dying there. I want to go online, internet. I'll go online, but I don't really read Chinese, okay? So I go online, like I go to McDonald's, I can't even read what it wants. I know they want to pay credit card, I want to just pay money, but I can't read it. So it was really frustrating, and my stomach was bothering me. Later on, I just wandered the street. I found like a cafe that had free internet. So then I recovered after 3 or 4 days. I basically stayed there for like 9 in the morning to 9 p.m. Sit there and prospect. And I had free internet. I actually called the U.S. I called my team members in the U.S., chat with them. That was one of the big, talk about all news is bad news, all news is good news. That was one of the major turning points. Because after going through that physical pain, I actually really thought I was going to had to go to the hospital, get surgery. It was really bad. When I went to Malaysia on my own, or go to Philippines, to me it was nothing. If I survived that, I could do that. I don't know what Malaysia was. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. If I could survive in the streets, at least Malaysia have English. The Taiwan is all Chinese. I could survive in Taiwan like that. I could survive in a country, English-speaking country. So it's mental toughness. But anyway, I went to Taiwan. I went to meetings to learn to copy what they did. I still remember two things I learned at that presentation that I still use today. So he talks about one of the things, talk about the binary, right? So one of the people think that when in MLM you have to sponsor lots of people. But actually, you don't need to sponsor a lot of people. You just need to find 2 people. And the way he explained it was so good. It's like, well, you sponsor 2 people, actually, you just need 2 friends. And you have those 2 friends get 2 friends. And those 2 friends get 2 friends. And he said, well, how many of you actually have 2 friends? How many of you actually don't have 2 friends? And people like, don't really. And he said, well, good. Because if you don't have 2 friends, you should leave this meeting and make some friends. And the whole crowd laughed. Right? Just like the way you laugh. I was like, wow, that's so good to talk about it. I still use that today when I explain the pay plan. Another thing he used, like, why do we need help? And he was leaning on a chair, like a wooden chair, not like a stool. He said, well, this stool, one day it just breaks. Right? Have you ever had furniture just breaks? Right? Did it break that day? Or did it break over years of use? Yeah, that's like your health. Your health, years of use. But you don't see it. Just like we don't see the chair breaking down every day, all of a sudden it breaks. By the time it breaks, you try to fix it, it's too late. Our body's the same way. It's the chair that keeps breaking every day, but you can't see it. That was a really good mental picture. That's like I said, I'm sharing with you. I'm still using it today. I learned that. That was back in like 10 years ago. Last thing I learned from that meeting, afterwards a huge meeting, I'll go out and people were giving flyers. Right, flyers. So I grabbed one of the flyers, and you know what the flyer was? I don't really read Chinese, but I can tell. It was another MLM company trying to recruit people. That's the way it works. So that was like a huge lesson. But it's going out there, getting outside your comfort zone, and taking action. And it could be nervous, it could be scary, but you have to do it. Okay. So now we're going to talk about, we have like 5-7 minutes. And then for those who are doing dinner here, eating, want to share and talk, with the Angry Birds and the Big Bald Eagle. So there's 9 Angry Birds. Once upon a time, in the land of the Angry Birds, there was a big bald eagle. And the big bald eagle was sore. Did you know that when an eagle soars, that it can go for, I think one flap of the wings can go for like 25 kilometers at least, right? Big bald eagle. And everyone, he was like the MLM leader, the eagle, that everyone looked up to. He could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. So one day these Angry Birds came up to Big Bald Eagle. We want to do MLM. How does it work? You're the MLM leader. The Big Bald Eagle said, well, you got to learn. There's 9 types of birds. And you got to be careful on who you spend time with. The first type of bird is the eagle. You're looking for the eagle because he's the leader. The eagle has vision. He's caring. He's a giver. You're looking for the eagle. But you got to be careful with the other type of birds. Because one of the birds you encounter is the ostrich. The ostrich, they like to put what do the ostrich do? Well, they put the Angry Birds, they put their head in the sand. You're right. These are your friends with the corporate jobs. They think everything is cool, but their head in the sand, they have no idea what's going to hit them in the ass. The second type of bird is the peacock. What do you know about a peacock? The peacock's very pretty, have beautiful feathers. That's right, but if you take a closer look, they have a really tiny body. These are the people they look like they're wealthy, but they have really tiny bank accounts. They look wealthy on the outside. The next type of bird is the cuckoo bird. What do the cuckoo birds do? Every hour, they go like this, go like, cuckoo, and they go back in. Another hour later, they go back outside and go, cuckoo, and they go back in. The Angry Birds, well, we know these people. These are the people with a job. Every day they wake up at 9 and get back home at 6. They go watch TV. The next day they wake up, they go to work at 9, they go back home, and they watch TV. The cuckoo birds. What other type of birds out there? Well, the next type of bird is the pigeon. What do you know about the pigeon? Well, the pigeon, they could actually be really talented birds. They can fly fast, but they just eat the scraps on the ground. They just scraps. They never eat a good meal. It's like, that's right. The pigeon, they just settle. They have huge potential, but they just settle in life. The next type of bird is the turkey bird. What do you know about the turkey bird? Turkey birds, these gobble, 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 they just talk. The turkey bird, they talk a lot, but they never take action. And what happens to the turkey bird? They get on the dinner table. What other type of birds are there? The next type of bird is the chicken. What's the chicken? Well, chicken makes a lot of noise too, Mr. Eagle. Just talk, 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 rock, 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 you know, keep talking, right? That's right, they're like the turkey. They talk a lot, but never take action. And what happens to the chickens? They're like the turkey, but worse, because you get deep fried. The next type of bird is the dodo bird. What do you know about the dodo bird? The dodo bird is extinct. They're so dumb, they get extinct. They're terrible. They're like they're like embarrassment. They don't do anything.
What is this?
Dodo bird. The dodo. Dodo. D-O-D-O. Dodo bird. So the dodo bird, they're your prospects that when you go to a meeting, you finally work them to get to the presentation, and they sit in the back and they fall asleep. But there's one more bird, you gotta be careful. And that's the super dodo bird. What's the super dodo bird? The super dodo bird is you have to go to his house to get him to go to the meeting. And when you go to his house, he's sitting on the couch there, slouched down, half asleep, one hand in front on the TV holding the remote, the other hand holding a bag of chips and falling asleep. So those are the 9 type of birds. When you go prospect, you got to find the eagle. Right? Those are the 9 type of birds. Now, we end there. You got to find the eagles. You find the 3%. 3% is 1 out of 33 of your downlines would be a superstar. Okay, if you don't have anyone good, just keep prospecting, you'll find a person. All right? So thanks everyone. I think you've been great. I think you got a lot of value, a lot of things to think about in applying. It's been a great time in Brisbane, and look forward to seeing you all in October. Thanks again.
Thank you.